On my way back from lunch, I was reflecting upon some of the beautiful teachings our speakers shared with us this morning. And I asked myself, I've actually been coming to Sai retreats and Sai conferences for many, many years. And it never fails to amaze me how every single time it recharges me, recharges a part of me that I didn't realize required recharging. It reminds me of a story that Swami once said. There was a woodcutter who was hired by a company to start cutting wood in a particular part of the forest. So the young man, extremely talented at what he did. And the first day he showed up for his new job and he was able to cut down 15 trees. And his supervisor was extremely happy with his work. The next day, he again comes back to work full of energy, ready to prove himself in his new role. But this time he only managed to cut down 10 trees. The third day the number drops to 5. And he's now beginning to get worried. He's putting in the exact same energy that he was on his first day, but somehow the results were not proportional to the effort he was putting in. By the time the 5th day came, he was only able to cut 2 trees. And so he decides to go to his supervisor and says, "Sir, I know that I have been putting in all the effort that I could from my side, but for some reason, my output keeps decreasing day by day. And I know you must be upset with me, but I'm sorry, I just don't know what to do." His supervisor smiles and asks him, "When was the last time you sharpened your axe?" In many ways, on the spiritual path, our sense of discrimination, our sense of dedication, our sense of discipline begins to get rusted. We sometimes tend to get complacent, stagnant. And it is in satsangs like these where we feed off each other's energy, each other's passion for Swami, love for Swami, the desire to please him, the desire to become one with him, that helps get rid of this rust so that no longer that rusted instrument gets dropped, but God is able to pick us up as a new shining instrument. One of Swami's beautiful quotations that I have always found personally touching is, "Living with God is education. Living for God is service. And living in God is realization." And how apt that Swami has sent us 2 wonderful speakers who have lived with God and been educated under his guidance, who have lived for God and served him in his many, many human forms, so that we can all learn to live in God and realize him one day. Once again, we're extremely fortunate to have Dr. Upadhyay share with us many, many more experiences of living for God and serving him in his many beautiful forms. Doctor.
My humble salutation in the lotus feet of our beloved Lord, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And salutation to you all. I'm saying a bit more loudly because Brother Mike was sharing one of the experience that not very long ago, the Swami visited your country in the form and somebody asked that person who appeared, "Do you want some prasad?" He said, no, I got some prasadam for you, and he shared. So you can well imagine, in any form God can come. So I do not know in what form this afternoon Swami is with you. Swami, I am not a speaker, so I cannot speak with you. So what I want to request you, Swami, you be the speaker and let me be the loudest speaker only. So I can just share a few of the thoughts. I was just thinking what I'm going to talk this afternoon. We are very lucky actually that Brother Jean is here, and he has been with me to Russia and Malawi. He has compiled some things. Probably we'll arrange, because the light is not very good to talk about the the films and some of the things which I'm going to talk. But first of all, I'd like to thank the youth this afternoon. I had some interaction with them, and as my battery was very low, they have charged my batteries, and the remaining battery was charged by our bhajan singer. So thank you very much to our wonderful youth and the bhajan singer to charge my battery so I can share some of the experience. And this morning I was thinking what I'm going to this afternoon, and Swami says, leave everything to me. And I thank Sister Arunima, who really has given me all the things which I should be speaking, because she was talking about earthquake, one of the biggest, it is a big disaster. It was many-fold bigger, and a large area was involved than probably you have got in Haiti. It was in Kutch, and you heard how Swami had sent very large number of the people served there. I was one of the humble servants chosen to go and work in that area for a very, very long time. So I want to just discuss or share with you how this organization works differently than many other organizations who are working. And probably you have got the personal experience in Haiti. And as your memory is fresh, I'd like to tell you, most of the organizations have now gradually disappearing from Haiti, because it is no more a media or the newspaper news, because it is all disappearing from the memory of the people. But only organization which is giving the continuous support and help, social and medical, is our organization. And very large number of people from United States of America, they are helping out there. So this is the difference. And this is the same thing happened when I went there. I saw a very large number of the organizations were involved. And wherever I went there, the cranes working, the people were taken out from the, the building collapsed and everything. And all the volunteers are working where the television and the media was there. And people are telling, oh, we have saved somebody. He was underground or under the rebels for 4 days and 5 days and all those things. And we had the instructions, and people were distributing the food and other medicines to their communities. Large group of the people from A community, B community, C community. But Swami's instructions were very simple. When the convoys goes, whatever the village comes number one, you serve that village. When they're completely satisfied, that village leaves some volunteer to look after the people, because of they have got psychological trauma, because they have lost the whole family, some of the people. Then you go to the next village, then you go to the next village, then you go to the next village. And the volunteers, they literally stayed with the people who did not have it. They pitched the tent for them, they looked after for their need, and they consoled them psychologically that, look, there is nothing, God is still with you. And at that time, you don't require medicine. That time you require something about which gives you peace of mind. And how it comes? When somebody holds your hand and share love with you. And that is where what happened actually in Gujarat, in this area of Kutch. And like to share actually with you that how the people who are in the remote parts of the world, they are missed out, because people have got no information, because media has not reached. When we were traveling through the villages, we will hear from the shepherds, the people who are on the camel there. These are the people who travel from one village to another village. They're like gypsies. They search for the grass area for the camels and the sheep to graze. So these people will come and tell us that, look, there is a village. Nobody has reached there. Can you go to the village? And there were some villages 3 days after the earthquake. There are still the people buried. And people got the helped these people to come out and made sure that the whole family was comfortable. One of the incidents which really had touched me in that area was we had a van equipped with the medical facilities. We are going village to villages to find out. I came to a village. It was about few days after the earthquake. Whole village has almost left. And there was an old man, very poor vision, sitting with his stick. Probably Jean will show that glimpse of that particular episode. He was sitting there, and when we went there, some of the villagers used to bring some food for him, but he will not leave that village. And I asked him why. He said his whole family has buried underneath few days, but he still got the hope that his son will come out. So I said why he was so attached to his son. He said he was the only one, because this man is almost blind. And he used to take him to, the river to have bath and arrange his food and everything. And he thinks that his eyes, his hands, his legs have gone. And this poor man will not move from there. And he was very, very sad. And we approached to this old man and we simply said, in Gujarat, when you say, "Oh Father," you normally say Bapuji. So one of the volunteers says, "Bapuji, your son has got, but you got many sons here around you to help you. We are your son." And this fellow, first time, he just wanted to hold the hand of that boy who said like this. He said, "Where do you come from?" So he mentioned he was one of the volunteers. And he said, "Would you look after me?" It was a very difficult question. Swami says, don't give any false promises if you can't do. And this boy says, "I'll try my best." He did not say yes or no. And that was the first time the villagers told us you could see at least hope on the face of this old man. No medicine. He suddenly realized that his son is not going to come back. But there are other people who are ready to extend Swami's love. Not by words. And he stayed there for a few days, made sure till they have arranged some place for this man to move. And this boy from Gujarat made sure that he continually visited this person. He comes from long distance. Actually, this was in the area between Kutch and Amran. There is a place called Choti Chirai. It is a very small place. The whole village was completely gone. And probably you may have heard, actually, the disaster was so intense that on 26 January, which is the Independence Day of India, the people have gone to celebrate the Independence Day in one of the school, and entire the school collapsed and all the children were disappeared. And the sight was that the parents will not leave that area for days because they had the hope they will put their ear that they might hear that some sign that somebody is alive and they can do something about that. At that time, Swami's love reached to them in the form of bhajans, giving them the advice and looking after them as if they were the family members. This is what the family ties. And as Dr. Arudima was telling this morning, the things did not disappear. Swami made sure the trucks and trucks of help, relief was loaded in Prashanti Nilayam. Where is Andhra Pradesh and where is Kutch? Every single day. A large number of convoys, they traveled there and they went villages after villages after villages. And I remember even everybody has gone from there. Year and a half, continuously Swami's relief work was gone there. And another work with Gujarat Sai Organization has taken to adopt the villages to look after these places. This is what the difference is, that Swami's work is a package. Can you hear me at the back? Because in the morning people could not hear me. So please raise your hand if you can't. Because I'm not very good with this speaker. So this is what exactly the difference between Swami's program in any relief work. And the second thing which I wanted to discuss with you or share with you, and we'll show some of the pictures to you, is Sister was talking this morning about tsunami. How we made the difference working during the tsunami area. Probably you all remember during this tsunami, it was a 9-minute affair. In 9 minutes, many of the villages and towns completely disappeared. It was nothing left. Some of the families, they have lost each and every one. Many of the people, the scores of the doctors and the volunteers from Australia to United States of America, from Japan, from any part of the world, from New Zealand, from Denmark, they were all coming there. It was very difficult for the government to organize. Here it is a tsunami, and now there is a tsunami of the relief worker coming to the country, and they were just going to one camp and another camp with their camera and the video camera, what they were doing and all those things. Morning, one team will come, they will give the medicine, they will go to another camp. Afternoon, another team come, they got no linguistic expert to translate. They give another set of the medicine. Third team will come, they will get. One patient has got 3 sets of the medicine because different doctors have come and they have moved on. When we reached there, these people really realized that what Sai Organization is all about. And I just wanted to tell you, this again connects to Ramayana. The welcome which we received in Sri Lanka was really so wonderful. When we landed actually in Sri Lanka, of course, again it was, though tsunami had gone, but weather was very good. It was still raining. When we landed there, I was very surprised because we had huge supply of medicine because we were planning to arrange 9 camps in the 9 different tsunami areas. If you imagine the North America, one is in San Francisco, one is in New York, one is in Washington, one is in Los Angeles, and one is probably at the Canadian border, and one is in Boston. Because Sri Lanka is not a big country, but still it is quite far away. That was our duty was. And when we landed, they were surprised to see the amount of stuff which we have brought. And Swami's miracle starts right at the beginning. When we reached to the Heathrow airport, they saw this 400 boxes full of medical goods and all those things. And our organization is very particular about when we take the things, each and every box is labeled, this is for eye, this is for gastric, this is for heart, this is for social work, this is for educare, and this is for children. Everything is beautifully packed. And a similar sheet is sent to the custom department, where Swami is very, very particular about the discipline. And each and every box has got the label, and you have got the sheet. So when the custom department, they cannot open all the boxes. So when they look at the sheet, they random open one box, and they are satisfied, and then they let you go. Otherwise, opening all the boxes is impossible. But this is the discipline which Swami has created when you do the international work, because there should not be any blemish on the name of Swami. That is very important. When you are working for Swami, it is not for you. You have to be very careful that nobody should challenge Swami's name. Look, on the name of this charity, you have brought something wrong. So when we reached airport, and they said, it is impossible for us to take such large number of the boxes. There is no way we can carry. So we tried to contact the manager and explain to him that this is very important. He said, we know that everybody wants to take the relief work, but you should think about our plane as well. So Swami does his miracle in his own way. We knew that we have to ring Swami and find out the solution, and the best way to ringing is heart to heart. We again got hold of each and every one at the airport, all of us, and we said 9 Gayatri. We waited for the response, and after half an hour, the manager came and he said, we decided actually to load down the suitcases of all the passengers, and we send by the cargo, but we will send your goods. So thank you very much, Swami. And when we came to Sri Lanka, Swami, really, when you are doing the work, Swami is there before you. When we came there, they set up a different area for us. The moment we came, there is no custom. Everything was taken. The volunteers were ready to receive us. And when we came to main lounge, it was something most amazing I have ever seen. I have never seen such a scene. In the airport lounge in the Sri Lanka, there was a huge Swami's picture, garlanded, and there was a red carpet like Swami walks it, flower, and the volunteers were standing with the betel leaf and little rice, and probably Sri Lankan people have this tradition, and some sweet onto that one. They say it, and flower. They say the betel leaf represents the heart and flower is the fragrance of your love. And they greeted each and every devotees. And then the head of the airport authority, he said, when is Sai Baba coming? He came. So I said, I know Sri Lanka is waiting Sai Ram to come since the Treta Yuga. He only came that, and after that he has not come. But this time he has sent only the monkeys. We could not even say that Hanuman has only monkeys. He may come. And they literally thought it was Swami is arriving. They didn't think about the team. So decoration was, whole entire airport was decorated so beautifully. And when you come out and suddenly you see your beautiful Lord is standing there at the full glory, beautiful garland. Then they did the Aarti. And on the Aarti, we were taken and we went to the Sai Center. And the Sai Center is not very far from where the Prime Minister lives, on the same road almost. And we divided ourselves into the several camps. And we wanted to make sure that we maximize our efforts. But the most astonishing thing happens The coordinator of the relief work approached us and he says, Doctor, what we want you before you start your medical camp, we want to help us with the tsunami of these doctors coming from different countries and doing little work here and there. We want you to do something that it can be done in an organized way, because the patients are confused, nobody talks to them, and they are holding medicine from the morning, in the afternoon, evening, doctors, they do not know what to take because they are written in a different language. Some in Danish, some in English, and some in different country has got different languages. We said, don't worry, we will sort out. Because they knew we are going to set up the camps not for one day or go in the morning and come back in the afternoon. They knew that we are going to do this work in these 9 different areas in a very organized day for 7 days. And one of the things which Gene, I'm very grateful to him, he's going to show you the quality. Even in the tsunami area, the Swami has sent the most advanced technology so that you can diagnose and treat the people there. That is secondary, that is not so important. That is what Swami is one of the most important thing. To send, you may not be able to make the super specialty hospital everywhere, but Swami has, this is one of the program, he sent the super specialist with the best technology to the poorest in the remote part of the world. No other organization in the world does it. That is only Sai Organization, and he does it beautifully. When you look at the instruments, you will see that what Swami has done. He has really created a mini super specialty hospital in the camp. But one of the incidents which I remember, which really touched me, was one of the youth asked me this question this afternoon with the interaction session that what is the difference between other organizations working and how the Swami works and all those things. One of the biggest difference, there are so many other people, they were also working there. And there was another camp which was not very far. We were working up on the hill, and down by the seaside there was where the thing, there was another 2 tents were there. And when we came in the morning, the queue was already building up. And this doctor from one of the camps sitting, I don't know which country he was, in his shorts and the t-shirt with the goggles and a hat and reading the newspaper. And when we entered our medical camp, we thought about 700 people in the queue. So I asked one of the organizers, look, why these people are not going there? He said, Doctor, you better ask these people in the queue why they are not going there. So I simply asked, sir, rather than standing in the queue, the other people also helping you? He said, you know, they write a slip, this medicine, and you go and buy. We've got nothing left. Where we would go? But here what we're receiving is something very astonishing. We are standing here, but your volunteers, the youth, they come every few minutes and they ask, sir, do you want some water? Sir, are you tired? Shall I take you first? Because Swami's instructions were very small children, very elderly people, you give them the priority. They bring the chair and they make sure they're in the shed. They're serving the water. He said, we have never heard about these things. And probably Gene has got that, probably that thing recorded. It was something beautifully. One afternoon, one old gentleman came, and he didn't have much serious problem, but he was sad because he lost his family. He was very, very sad. And one of the biggest things which happened, something very, very simple. The children and the people who were working and the teachers, they had problem because as the tsunami came, everything was washed away. And something which people who wear glasses, they know how important it is. If you forget your glasses at home, you can't read properly or you can't see to drive and all those things. And all the shops have gone, so they can't even go and buy. So these people were going to the local hospitals and they said, this is not so important. More serious people are there, you come some other day. And this fellow was going up and down to the hospital. They were shunting him from one place to another. That afternoon he came there, and one of the volunteers saw that he's very old, so he came and brought him. So first of all, he was given some cold drink and then asked, do you want to eat something? He said, no, I'm happy. So then he was brought, our optometrist examined him and prescribed the glasses. And then he sent him to me and I examined him. And he got up and he said, I do not know which organization you people come. Either you are mad or you are working for the Divine Master. Either you are mad or working for the Divine Master. I said, why such a contrast? He said, only mad people can work like this. So I said, yes, we are totally mad for our Divine Master. You can combine these two words. And that is how we are working. So I said, why did you say, sir, this? He wrote a beautiful letter, actually, and you can see when we show you some of the pictures. So he said, the reason is, I'm an ex-headmaster. I'm an educated man. I'm going to my hospitals in my own country and various other medical camps to get some help. And every single day they've been shunted here and there and whatnot. And today I come to this place. I heard from my neighbors that they are dispensing something different. That is not medicine. That is not glasses. That is not clothes. That is not medicine. They're dispensing love. And if you really want to experience, I just came for that to see. And he said, today I realized. And I feel that you have reestablished my honor and respect, not because I was headmaster, but I'm an elderly person. My own doctors, they say, come tomorrow, come day after tomorrow. And I've been just shunted. But today, the way I have been received, and now I've got this pair of glasses. The first thing, I want to write a letter to thank your master. He wrote that letter and gave it to. And this is a simple, very simple instance. Not that you have treated somebody who had a cancer or who is blind and you cured him and whatnot. It's a simple thing. But you see, what happened? The Swami's principle touched that person and he went so satisfied. While he was going, he said, I bless you all. And this is what exactly this work is all about. That you touch the people, and then when he came next day, he asked something. Can you tell me something more about Sai Baba? His work, you do not have to promote his name. If you do his work, his name is already promoted. When you go to other organizations, people have got they call it advance party. The advance party goes there and make the publicity. This organization has been doing so much work and they have done this thing and so is going to do the work. His name is in the newspaper and you want to do a medical camp and all those things. You will see all sort of things. Lot of names in the newspaper and not of propaganda and all those things. And when you try to evaluate the work, it is only that much. I had an experience of this thing, and since that time, I used to go with any other organization in my free time to work, but since that time I have stopped. And that experience is very, very simple. And because it does not go with the Sai principle. I was doing a medical camp for one of the organization, which is quite big name in conducting the medical camps. I don't want to name that organization. Swami says, never name somebody unnecessarily. When I was doing that medical camp, that family was very much involved and these people arranged all the operations facilities and everything. And after second or third day of the medical camp, the head of the family approached me and he says, Doctor, just before the medical camp finishes, I would like you to see my mother and I would like to arrange the operation. So I said, yes, bring your mother, we'll be very happy. So I said, yes, she has got a cataract. He said, you know, a few miles from here, there is a private hospital. I have hired the operation theater and you can come and do the operation there for my mother. So I said, why? Why you want to have your mother operated in that private hospital? I can do it here. He said, my mother get operated in the eye camp? I said, how about all these mothers you have been asking me to operate? For me, your mother and these mothers are not different. If you think that you are doing the wrong thing for those mother and doing the right thing for your mother, your principle is wrong. And then suddenly I realized there's two-tier system, something different for my mother and something different for somebody else's mother. And it was so beautiful after that medical camp when I went to Swami. Swami is omnipresent. Some things the moment I entered, Swami said something very nice. He said, you know, when you are in a fix, what to do for the patient when the patient is sitting in front of you. I'll give you a formula, a mantra. When somebody is sitting in front of you and you want to do whether should I operate, I should not operate. Should I give this medicine? Should I not give this medicine? Oh, I'm in rush now. Shall I call this patient tomorrow? You know, doctors have got their life and all those things. What you should do at that time, think that person is your mother sitting in front. What you will do at that time for that person. Or is your son, what you will do for your son. You will never go wrong. He killed two birds in one stone so beautifully. He has solved that dilemma for me when you're in the medical field. Should I take decision differently for somebody else? Because it happens, sometimes situation comes that you decide, oh, I don't know what to do. And then I'll give you that incidence because what Swami tells you, he prepares you for the next event. And when that next event comes, you remember what Swami has done for you. So this is what the difference is. What Swami teaches you to do in his medical camp or any service activities you are involved is so different, so overwhelming. He wants not only you to see them as your mother, father, or your children, but he wants to see the divinity in them. And as Brother Ramesh said, that is what the essence of Manav Seva is, Madhav Seva. And you are not serving Daridra Narayana, you are actually serving Narayana. And he is the recipient. He is the one who is working for that Narayana through you. And that is what exactly you have to just deliver. You are a postman. And that brings me to another incident about connecting to this thing. It was a medical camp many, many years ago. I think it is in the 80s in Ghana. And it was a most wonderful occasion in Ghana for me also, because it was an education and human value program launching in Africa as well. And we had got a lot of great dignities from India, like Sri Srinivasan and Indulal Shah, Victor Kanu, and all those big people. Actually, they were present. One side is education and human value program, and at the same time, we were supposed to do the medical camp. I was allocated a village far, far away from the main city, and we were conducting this medical camp near the Ivory Coast. It was the last day of the medical camp. We were about to do all the packings, almost finishing. And I have told the doctors and nurses, pack everything, and the truck is outside, they start loading. And the people started collecting things. As we were just coming out, I saw a 21-year-old African lady with 7 days old baby just coming into the clinic. The pus pouring out of the child's eyes. You can't see anything, just the pus, no eyeball at all. I know what the condition was, and I knew how to treat it. But at that particular moment, I didn't have that medicine, because you don't go for a specific treatment. Those who are doctors here, probably they know this condition called ophthalmia neonatal. This has happened, the child got this unfortunate bacteria from the passage, the birth passage. And if you do not treat, the child would go blind. And that time I said, Swami, why you are testing me? If this lady has come 15 minutes later and I have gone, at least I would not have seen the child, and I would not have been guilty that I could not do anything. But now what can I do? I do not have anything. And that you could see the tears in the eyes, because probably she knew that child will go blind. So I've got no alternative. So what I did was, I suddenly decided something is better than nothing. Have some improvisation. I asked one of my nurses that, can you give me some penicillin tablets? So we crushed the penicillin tablet, and I was about to add some distilled water. So the same nurse asked me, what are you doing? I said, I'm preparing this penicillin drop powder so that the mother can put the antibiotic into the eye. And she asked me the same question which Swami asked me, would you do this for your son? And suddenly I realized, see, my hair raised, because I remember this time it was not Swami. Swami is speaking through her to remind me, what are you doing? I was stunned for a minute. And I said, Swami, what shall I do? You have put me in such a situation, I can't do anything. Now this girl has stopped me even giving that powder. And suddenly I remember what I told you in the morning. If you can't do anything, refer the patient to me. So I just took some vibhuti and I said, sorry sister, I've got nothing else. Just put this vibhuti on the eyelid and just dissolve into the water and give it to the child. That I will do for my child, definitely. Whether he has got a fever or not. So I thought, yes, I can do that. And Swami's words were there. And meanwhile, that lady took the vibhuti, and suddenly the driver comes back and he said, Doctor, I just found this box on the stairs and it's got no label onto that one. As I just told you, that anything which we take, we have to label it. What medicine, what duty for the custom. And here is a box of almost that size, and there is no label. So I said, no, this may not be ours. This belongs to probably the village nursing people. You can ask them. And nobody claimed it. So I said, let's open it. And I opened it. You won't believe. It was the medicine which I wanted at that particular time. This is the beauty. Swami's DHL service is so fast. I'm telling you that even if I'd order our clinic in London to send it, probably it would have taken a day to reach there with the DHL. And there it is, divine DHL service. I put the vibhuti and Swami says, refer the patient, I'll take care. But remember one thing, don't do something what you don't do it for your mother and son. Look at the Swami's principle. And there it was. It is produced immediately. When I opened the box, it was freshly prepared war. That was so fantastic. And when we went to Swami for the interview, Swami narrated the whole list because he is everywhere. But he said, whenever you go, be prepared for everything. I said, Swami, but I did not. He said, no question of not realizing. Be prepared for everything. That's fine. Then recently we had a camp in Sierra Leone. God's words you have to remember. So this time not only we were prepared, we have also taken a pathologist with us, and so that he can diagnose the patient. And it exactly happened. On the second day of the medical camps, another mother walks in, and that mother has got a child. Mother also had an infection in the eye, and the child, pus pouring out. And this time, the baby was much younger, was only 3 days old. And I had a doctor who did not believe in Swami much. Because nowadays many other institutions are getting involved in Swami's work, various institutions. And there is one big eye institute in London, it's called Moorfield Eye Hospital. And this doctor worked as a specialist there. He was with me. The moment he saw, he wanted to take some pictures for his catalog to show it to the people. Look, this is the condition I've seen. And luckily we had a pathologist. He took the pus cells and seen under the microscope, confirmed these are the gonococci, this is a condition. So now we have got the case, there is a diagnosis confirmed. Swami says, be prepared for everything. This time we took the medicine with us. But this medicine was slightly different, which is prescribed into the books, which that particular hospital, but I knew the other medicine works very well. We treated, and treatment is love, is not only the medicine. Why it is love? A nurse has to sit down and put the drops every minute for 10 minutes, and every 10 minutes for 1 hour, and then every half an hour for 6 hours. It is a whole day process. And here is a nurse. So many people there, but she sat down and did it. And by evening, just when the sun was going down, you can see the pus disappearing and you could see the eyeball. And this Moorfield specialist come and his jaw dropped. I have never seen a miracle like this. Normally, if I treat that condition in my hospital, it will take 3 days before I could actually see the eyeball. He was so surprised. This incident is published in British Medical Journal, actually, the entire episode. That is what the beauty. It's not about the publicity about the Swami. It is Swami's approach. Be prepared to do. People go and do the things. Suppose you go to any medical camp and you are doing an eye camp, and if somebody has got a heart condition, these people have got no emotion. You said, no. This is not a cardiology thing. This is only I go somewhere else. Where they can go? But it's only Swami's organization has thought about these things. So Swami arranges under one roof all the specialists. Cardiologist, endocrinologist, skin specialist, child specialist, ophthalmologist, optometrist, and gynecologist, all under one roof, so that people who have never seen a doctor, they are seeing the doctors from the best of the doctors from the world. Those people do not have any medical facilities, but Swami is sending the best facilities for them. That is the difference about the service which Swami offered to the people. No organization in the world has done, and other organizations have recognized this wonderful condition that yes, and that's why Swami is accepted. The Sai organization accepted in the condition where other organizations are not able to go. I remember Bosnia, at that time, there were problems with one organization whose headquarters is in New York and in Geneva. I don't want to mention the name. These people were not allowed to go because they knew they were politically biased. Knowing about the Swami, we had no problem serving the people who were Christian or people who were Muslim, because they knew for us, the God is same, as the brother sang this morning, beautiful. Which temple or which mosque you can go where people will sing Allah, and which mosque you will go where somebody could sing Raghupati Raghav Rajaram. It is only the temple of Swami where you can sing any hymns you like because it comes from your heart and it goes directly to the Swami. That is the fantastic thing. And this is how the Swami's transformation is taking place. The doctors goes with me who do not know anything about Swami because I need sometimes specialist people. They see Swami's care, love, and detachment from promotion. They become very much interested. Who is Swami? What is he doing? And they gradually get involved into this wonderful mechanism of, we call, suddenly their vision changes. They started using their contact lens and they start using silence. And when they see the silence, they see Sarva Jagan Sai Mayam. That is what happens. Entire world looks like love of Sai. That is what exactly happens. That is the beauty of silence. And also when you have a silence, in the silence, you can hear him as well. There is a 2-in-1. You see, so nowadays most of the things, you have got iPod and telephone. I'm not in the technology, but I heard that you can have many things in the phone nowadays. And that is the beauty of silence and the silence. You hear him and you see him everywhere. Now, after India and after Africa, I will like to take you to Russia to give you the glimpse of Russia as well. And Brother Chandrahas actually does, who has been wonderful actually. He's been wonderful link to me. He's been keeping me updated, whatnot. I'm really thankful to him. He reminded me, I'm very poor actually in remembering the incidents, but if somebody reminds, then only I remember. And this incident was first time when I went to Ural Mountain, Siberia. And I told you in the morning, these people were laughing at me why I'm going to Siberia. I said, no, I'm not punished. I'm blessed that I'm going to that part of the world where no brown-skinned man has ever gone. So that is Swami's love. And they decided actually before we take the medical camp, the state authorities and the health authorities wanted to talk to us that why you wanted to come to Siberia and Russia to help us. We are such a wonderful people. We have sent the first man in the Spain and first Sputnik. Yuri Gagarin was probably the, you remember, the first man, and they have sent even a dog called Laika in the space. So he said, we are such a far forward, scientifically advanced country. Why you want to bring the medical camp to our country? They wanted to talk to us. So I went to a place called Ekaterinburg, which is the capital of, Ural, and I think it is eastern Siberia. Siberia is a big place. And we talked to the various people. They were very suspicious, actually. Is there something we are here to promote, a religious cult, or we have got a hidden agenda? We'll convert the people in some sort of a mission and whatnot. So we were not actually very happy the way, when you enter in a meeting hall, you can see it is a very tense atmosphere. There is a gentleman sitting in his military uniform, and there are people sitting there. I can't speak Russian. I've got an interpreter. You probably remember the two twin sisters which Swami has called. They have done a lot of wonderful work. Jean knows them very well. Sophia and Galia, they have translated a lot of Swami's work into Russian. Actually, they brought the Sai consciousness there. And the head of the Sai group of Russia, Valery, and Alexander, these people were with me. And we entered this hall where we were supposed to talk and all those things. They were looking very suspiciously. This man has come from England and he's Indian in origin and want to do this medical camp. So they were very suspicious. The KGB is very suspicious people, organization. So I did not know where to start and how to start, but I saw they had they have got everybody's biodata in front of them. I didn't send, but they've collected who I was and all those things. And they were turning the pages, and one of the things which I could see, that they could see Mother Teresa's picture there. So I said, oh, at least they know that it has nothing to do with Hinduism. Of course, there was Swami's picture and everything. And they asked me something very strange through the interpreter. I don't know, it was my answer. Our interpreter was very clever. She replied in Russian beautifully. That is still a mystery for me. But the tense atmosphere, clenched teeth, suddenly become very relaxed. The question they asked me, why you want to do this thing? Our country has got everything. So I simply said, our organization does not believe in promoting or teaching something what you already have. We just wanted to extend our hand to you as an extra pair of hand where you are not able to do certain thing through love. That is what the only thing. I know you have got the great scientist called Professor Fyodorov, who has invented laser operations for the eye, the cataract operations, and I know him very well. You had a Tolstoy, who has got Nobel Prize in literature. You had Yuri Gagarin, who has gone to space, the first man, and you are very advanced, no doubt about it. But this is different. It is not to teach or preach, it is to share. And suddenly, I don't know, it is how she translated or whatever happened, suddenly you can see the military man takes his hat off and put it there, and suddenly you could see the smile on the people, whole table become very relaxed. And after that, everything was easy from there. And then we told what exactly our mission was. We will go and work on one condition, that you give us what you are already doing, so we do not. Swami's instruction, whatever country you go in and work, do not change their basic values, what they are. Do not give any new medicines to them, what is not available in that country, and try to buy most of the things in that country for two reasons, so that if you take it something from abroad, they may not be able to get again. So it is not able to have the continuation. And number two, if you buy the thing locally, you are helping the local economy. You are buying from there. Swami says, try to do that. So we always follow Swami's, because as I saw in the morning, Swami has given me A to Z how to conduct the medical camp. And this is one of the principles Swami says. Follow the basic values of the country. Do not try to alter their program. Assist in their program as you are working with them. They liked the idea, all these things. They were very happy. He said, would you go and publish this thing? You say, no, our organization does not believe in television. We do not believe in publishing our work into any other newspaper. Swami's work is so tremendous and enormous. If you try to write the volume, there won't be any end to it. And probably you all know very well, there is no organization in the world has done such a work. You can probably see if the Vatican, has they ever thought about making a dam or a water project? Deemed universities, super specialty, they may have this mission hospital and things like that. So many spiritual organizations are there in the world. But think about it. The universities, colleges, free education, free water, and water projects, not only in around Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, now it is reaching to Africa. And Victor Kanu is promoting this program through the United Nations as well, Swami's water project. It is spreading with love. They know what is the value of saving water, electricity and everything. Sealing on Desires program. And through that money which is saved, promoting the health. This is what exactly is happening. Swami's schools are coming all over the world. If you take the entire database of the Swami's program, not only in India, but in the countries in other parts of the world, when you come to that volume will be bigger than any single organization in the world has done that much work. But with one difference, why people do not know, because Swami says, no publicity whatsoever. That is what exactly it is. And somebody once asked that if your Swami has done so much work, why he is not been nominated for the Nobel Prize? I said, God is not nominated for the Nobel Prize because he's beyond the prize. He gives the Nobel Prize to the noble people. That's what exactly it is. It is not he's after any recognition of work. And that's why many people have approached Swami. I remember many years, even United Kingdom approached Swami. Swami, should be published and send Sweden your work and all this. Swami said, no. Because this is that is the difference between the human beings, they work to get recognized. The divinity works to recognize your work. That is what, you do not have to work about anything, whether should I get knighthood or should I become the senator or whatever it is. You should work only for thing. Can I get Swami's grace? Can I get Swami's love? And that's what exactly. And this portion brings me to another part where I'm trying to explain to that Swami is everywhere, because Brother Chandrahas wanted me to tell this story too, or some of you probably have heard, and it is also in Satyam Shivam Sundaram also. I'm very lucky. Have your name mentioned in Satyam Sundaram is a great thing, but this whole story is there. And after finishing this meeting, these people were so happy, and they say, how you want to conduct this program? I said, sir, I want your team to be with us, so that when we finish, if you do not allow, at least it work can carry on. So I want to go and see where we are going to work. So they have given a very tough place to cross the Ural Mountains and go the other side, and there was a prison where they have a lot of youngsters, youth, and other people, and they were there for the various reasons. And they wanted us to see what we can do. And we thought that's a good opportunity to show that we can do with all sorts of people. In order to go and see, before the medical camp has already started, we wanted to go and see what is the situation, what sort of team we have to brought. So next day we started. It was, by the time we started, it was a bit late because we have to go and meet some other people. And when we reached there, it was late afternoon. It was snowing, very, very cold. And we reached to the place called, it is the Ural Mountain. Ural Mountain is the mountain which divides the Asian part of Russia and the European part of the Russia. And in olden days, it's called Eurasia. It meets like this. And those people who have been to London, there are many other places where something special happens, and that becomes like a monumental that some people visit and take the pictures. So in London, there is a Greenwich Mean Time. So there is a little metal bar. When you stand there, it is like that you are 1 foot is in the east and 1 foot on the west. And that is where the Greenwich Mean Time starts, and there is a clock, so the people take their picture. In the same way, in the Ural Mountain, there is a small monument there, and there is a small cement bar. So you can put 1 foot on one side, you are in Asia, and 1 foot on the other side, you are in Europe. Giant, we call it. So we stopped there for a while, and if you remember in the morning, I say, Swami says, never join pleasure with your work. We stopped there, and the Russian cars are not so wonderful like you have got in America. They have got, those days, they had only a car called, they had a Russian car, which is very basic. What is it? Volga, yes. It's a very, very basic car, actually, and it doesn't have the heating system. It doesn't have only the mileometer, how much petrol in the steering wheel. And it went up to the hill, and this driver stopped there, and our brother said, let's go and take a picture. You have come all the way. And we went. The moment camera clicked, the car stopped. And this fellow tried to start again and again and again and again. It won't start at all. And it was getting very, very cold. It started getting dark as well. So we were all worried what to do and all those things. So I had an interpreter. His name was Alex. I was talking to youth about him, actually. His name is Alex. And he got so, because he was interpreting all the things which we were talking about Swami, after a few years, he became so much engrossed into Swami's philosophy. He left everything and he converted his name as a Shivanand. And now he roams all over Russia. Probably Jean has met him. He roams all over it and does Sai Yagna all over place. A young man, but this is what mission he has taken, transformation through the Swami's name. And he suddenly told me something very strange. I still remember it was Monday. He says, Doctor, it is getting very cold. There is a Shivalaya here. Would you like to come there till the driver make some arrangements to see what is wrong with the car, because it will take some time. That time I didn't think about the Shivalaya because it was so cold. I wanted to go somewhere so that we could be inside. So I told him, yes, let's. How far it is? He said, it's very near. Let's go there. And as we were walking, suddenly I realized, Shivalaya in Ural Mountain. It is a communist country. There's nobody is allowed to have God's name and everything. How it is possible? So we all walked and we just reached there. It was a typical Siberian sort of a house, wooden. And these people have got this rug thing. You part, then it's a wooden door and you enter. It was all open. And in Siberia and Russia, like India, they are not supposed to wear the shoes inside because, it has snow, mud and everything. You take it outside and you go inside. And we entered this little place there. And there was a big man facing towards the shrine and it is Monday, I also do at my home, Shivalingastakam, probably you also all do there. This man is reciting Lingastakam, Brahma Murari Surarchit Lingam, Nirmal Bhashit Shobhit Lingam. So beautiful, and pronunciation was so wonderful. I thought it was an Indian priest reciting this. I just was frozen actually, absolutely listening to this in Ural Mountain. I sat down and after he finished the prayer, he turned. He said, "Oh, you all have come." So through the interpreter, I said, "Did you know you are coming?" He said, Yes. I had this premonition that few people will come today. Have this Charnamrit." And he gave the Charnamrit. And I was very inquisitive to ask, where did he learn this mantra? So I asked him, "Sir," and he was a typical Russian, 6 feet 2 inches tall, red hair, blue eyes, and white man, and singing these beautiful mantras. I asked him that, "Where did you learn this mantra?" There was no electricity. He lifted that candle and put it onto just on the other, there was a chair, and he said, "This is my guru has taught me." And it was Swami sitting in Abhay Mudra. And I remember that was the same scene when I was leaving Puttaparthi. People have told me so much about Siberia. I was in interview room with Galia and Sofia when they asked us that, "Swami, could we take doctor to Russia for the medical camp?" I asked Swami. Swami said, "Yes, go." I said, "Swami, people have talked so much." He said, "Don't worry, I'll be there." And that was the pose, that thing. Swami was sitting in particular way, and there he was. And Swami said, "I will be there." And there he was in that way. How Swami brings that you are going to do something, he's already there, what you can teach. And I was thinking that probably this visit I will teach them 1 or 2 small shlokas and bhajans, so carry on. There they are teaching me. That's what exactly. Your Lord is already there. Whether you go and do his work or not, somebody else will do. But Swami said, if I give opportunity, take it. Because his work will not stop. So whenever there is opportunity comes, you must do it. And the same thing takes me to another thing which probably I will speak to you. Who can do the service? Age is no bar. I've got 2 wonderful incidents. Probably some of you have heard. Jean probably brought that young boy from Russia. His name is Vladimir. He was only 8 or 9 years of age. You will see him speaking at that age. What his thoughts are on seva and what he thinks about doing the service. I'll explain to you that what it means to him to do the service when we are showing that clips to you. And there is a lady called Olga. She's about 74, 75. Doesn't matter where the medical camp is. Some places are so far that even the Russian people take about 5 to 6 days to travel to come to the medical camps. It is so vast. People travel continuously for 6 days and 5 nights to reach to the medical camp. And they do not have the places like staying in the hotel because they do not have as much provision. They are not very rich people, but materially, but they are very rich. Jean has direct, contact with many of those people. They are very rich in love. And somebody asked me once that when you go to Russia, what you feel, they can't speak your language and all those things. I always tell them, I may not have seen in Dwapar Yuga what the gopis and the gopalas were doing. But after meeting the Russian devotees, I realize they are absolutely madly in love with the God. And that's why one of the Russian ladies said, we are not Russians, we are Russias. Russia means the one who is madly in love with God. And that is what so much, when they see you, they think you are really Sai Baba. Because they have not seen Sai Baba, they have not gone. But when they look at you, they think, these eyes have seen Sai, so let's look at that eye. And when the medical camp finishes, these people run after you. In your coach, it is raining and all those things, till the coach disappears. That sort of love they have got for the people. And that is what Swami says. Unless you have got that intensity and madness of the love, you cannot reach me. And that's why Swami reciprocally loved the Russian people so much. They may not have the physical means, but they have got so much love for God, for everyone. And in that particular country, the people, very, very old people, like this morning, sister was talking about another quality of the love, which is called humility. There is a lady who comes to every medical camp, and she does one job. She always cleans the toilet. And the Russian toilets are not American toilets like that. They have got very primitive. And if Jean will allow me to tell you, Russia, some part of Russia is wonderful. We were working in one of the places in Stavropol, and Jean was there, and he was taking the shots. And he has a wonderful experience with the toilets. And can you imagine what sort of toilets? There are few holes on the earth. And Jean said, it is all right to sit there, but balance yourself and fight with the flies at the same time is a big job. And found this smell so wonderful. This is the test you have to go through. And that is the places you go there. Very little water. Morning the man goes, evening the ladies goes to have bath and all those things. And it's a communal bath and all those things. Many of the people do not have the place to sleep. They pitch the tent and sleep there. And if they do not have the bath, they just apply the vibhuti. They call vibhuti snanam. And they look so wonderful. And this is such a thing because they do everything with love. He stayed in an orphanage. His legs were not able to fit into because orphanage is for the children. And he's a tall man. But this is it. He has gone through that thing. And he enjoys that wonderful, but it is not easy thing going from a Western world. They've got all the luxury. Why you should throw into that sort of difficulties? But this is the lady who used to clean the toilets of, still every camp, she cleans the toilet in the hospitals. And the hospital toilets gets dirty very quickly because they have got Indian style toilets. People stand and, all sorts of things there, smell and all those things. But happily she will do, and then she will take an agarbatti and put in the toilet. So one day I asked her, Shwetlana, why are you doing this? Agarbatti in the toilet? He said, yes, doctor. If the Swami goes to toilet, at least it should be smelling nice. Can you imagine her thought? That if Swami goes to the toilet, she cleans it with that intensity, not because she wanted to clean it. And that evening, after medical camp finishes, last day of the evening, we had a program. They have got something called Palace of Culture. It's like a town halls in Western country. And in all the villages, in the communist regime, the people will come and talk about the communism, that you should do this, comrade that, and whatnot, and all those things. And then they will have some patriotic song. Now the people do their local folk songs and everything. So I was very surprised. On the stage there was an announcement that a very famous opera singer is going to give the performance, and because of that whole village has come and all the people we are seeing. And there, in one of the best opera style, this lady appears and sings. She's a wonderful opera singer. And I was shocked that this is the lady who is cleaning the toilet and she's the opera singer. After the program finished, I asked her, Sister, tell me why you have decided to choose this. He said, it is to crush my ego. There I get clappings and praises and everything, and I come and wash it. Here I am working for Swami. There people are waiting for me. That is the difference. That is what the sister was talking this morning, but this is the example what you learn in the camps. That is the extreme of the humility. Children, they come, they want to do something. This 74-year-old lady, you will see her breaking the accordion. She goes to every medical camp. She's getting very old. And once I told her, Olga, there is no reason to come to medical camps every time. It is sometimes you do not have a proper place to stay and you can travel so long. He says, till I am breathing, I want to work for Swami. She's getting in late 70s, but still travel a long distance. Age is no bar. And what she does, when the people are waiting in the queue, she just plays and sings Swami's songs to them. And then whenever she has got little time, she will play with the children and she will do the registration, whatever she can do for her age. But she wants to be part of that experience of giving love and receiving love. And when we come back, we realized that it's not we went to treat the people, we got treated with the love of the people there. That is the difference. This is what Swami is doing. He is transforming the people from A to Z. How many minutes? 5 minutes. And there is one more incident which I wanted to share. So when you see the clips tomorrow, you will realize this is about, I think I'll take you to this wonderful place called Sierra Leone. And this place in Sierra Leone, probably those people who have seen this film called Blood Diamond. How many people have seen the Blood Diamond? There's quite a few of you. And you see the atrocities this country has got through. And when Victor Kanu requested Swami, Swami said, yes, go ahead. We got the blessings of the Swami. And when we asked the people to come there, many people had a shiver to go to Sierra Leone. So not only because of the civil war, it is called the graveyard of the white people. The malaria is so intense that a group of some 20 people went there, and only 7 people returned, 13 died because of the malaria. So we have to explain to the people who volunteers to tell them that look, this is possibility. God protects you, but you should be aware about these things. Swami says, do not hide anything. Tell everyone, because people are giving their time, they're giving their money, they're giving love. So they should be in total picture. So many of the people, but we had a very good team, and we went, and we had a medical camp established. I was very lucky that Victor Kanu himself was there. He went to his country after many, many years. Probably those people who know his story, he was ambassador in Sri Lanka, ambassador of Sierra Leone in England, and he was asked to resign by Swami. He did not think twice, and politically he was tipped to become the president of Sierra Leone. But Swami says resign, and then he started teaching in London, and then Swami suddenly asked him to go to Zambia. And he spoke to Swami. He said, Swami, I'm from Sierra Leone. Swami said, I know, but you go to Zambia. Zambia, a place where he has never been, culture different, language different, everything. And you know what a miracle happened. Swami made him instrumental to make this miracle school of Swami, which is in itself is a different story. If we have time, we can share some time, because I was very lucky to do medical camps in the Zambia as well. But Sierra Leone was his dream that he wanted to do a medical camp. He said, Doctor, I want to do something. And we had this medical camp there. But first day, we did not have many people come to the medical camp. This is very strange for me, because normally, where you go, suddenly you see at least 500, 600 people are already in the queue, and there I find there's hardly very few people. I was very surprised. I thought, I've told other doctors that you will be very busy, and suddenly you will find there are only few people. There are more doctors than the patients there. And I didn't know what was happening. Then we realized that most of the people have just run into the bushes, and they didn't want to come because they thought, is this another trap that people are calling us on the name of this thing they might kill? Because the killing, I do not explain to you, that film explained if you have time to see. The children were given small money to shoot and kill and cut the hands and the legs. And many people I have seen with the machete, their hands were cut. Still you can see the pieces of the houses burned down completely. And you can see where all these things, the atrocities, signs of atrocity was already there. And that is where Swami wanted his love to grow. And when we were worried, but what happened, these few people we have seen in the morning, they went to the village and they explained that this is very different. It's love, it is care, it is genuine. And then it started building. And one afternoon, there was a huge number of the patients waiting, and suddenly I was in one of my rooms. A school was converted. This is one country, 21st century. There is no running water and then no electricity. So we have to have our own generator, and it's very difficult to get the diesel. So literally we have to pray to Swami to get some diesel so that we can run the generator and make sure that all the instruments are running. Camp was going in full swing. It was the afternoon, roughly this time, and suddenly we heard a big roar, and a truck came, dumped some of the people and disappeared. And the gate people who are arranging the crowd control people came running down to us. He said, Doctor, come. These people have brought these very, very injured people. Somebody's head is ripped off, tummy is ripped off, broken spine and everything like that. And I said, no, they cannot do because we are not emergency doctor. We specialize and we do not have the means to treat these things and we cannot get involved into the accidents because it is a medical legal things. If we go and if somebody dies, what will happen? I said, they have gone. There's nobody is there. And it was like a battlefield, blood everywhere. So you can see somebody's tummy ripped open. There was a little child with a mother, and mother is still clinging with the child because she had a hand injury and her head was half bleeding, swollen face and whatnot. And she was still clinging to the child, and we knew the child was already dead, but we could not move that child because she will be more shocked. And we did not realize what to do because there's all fractured legs, broken spine. And we prayed, well, first thing what you do in this situation, pray to Lord. Lord, guide us, tell us what to do and all those things. And suddenly we announced to the medical camp people that, look, we cannot see you, we all have to do something. And we pulled all the doctors who had little experience, more experience and whatnot to do something about what you'll do in an emergency. So we made some emergency program for them, and whatever we had, we did not have the stretcher, we did not have the bed for them. So we broke the benches, take some bamboos and make improvised stretchers, lifted them up and kept them in the comfortable position. Those people who had broken legs, with this sort of bamboos, we try to help them so their injury doesn't get worse. How to stitch, ripped open tummy, what to do. We have this small instrument to do small work, surgery, not the major surgeries. But somehow Swami's help, something could be done, and we started praying to our Lord. And one of the nurses decided to do and sometimes you forget what Swami has taught to you. She decided to do one thing. She took some vibhuti and started putting all the injured faces, people. She said, Swami, we refer the patients to you. And she was doing, and we did our thing. And it was getting in the evening. Painkillers were there. Whatever we could do, we did not have enough bandages, but somehow we tried to tie them and all those things. And they were in so critical condition, they needed blood immediately. They lost so much blood. Where is the blood? Nearest place where you could buy, not blood, but you can buy the glucose or saline to at least give some fluid was 100 miles in Freetown. To send somebody and bring that, it was very difficult. We did not have the means to send it because we didn't have the transport. Only rescue we had is Swami's names on our lips. And we told Swami, just Swami, you have to help. It is not us that we want to do something. We don't want your name to be involved at something. Because if these people die in this camp, they will say we could not do anything because they do not know that we are the doctors to treat such type of emergencies. So with that prayer, we were working intensely. Evening came and the generator man came running to me and he says, Dr. Upadhyay, now it would be only another half an hour or so, the generator will go because we don't have the diesel till morning. So I just simply said, put some vibhuti on the generator. What else you can see? Because you are thinking about, and this fellow is talking about the generator, we are talking about the human life. And he took it literally. His name is Peter Francis. He just went and put some vibhuti there. And you won't believe, 1.5 hours we worked and still the generator was going on. Then I realized that how important, because we needed some light. Then somebody told that about 10 miles from there is a place where they have got medical facilities, you can take these people there. So we asked the police to come to register these people. He said, we do not have the means to come. You send some vehicle because we don't have the diesel. Police is asking us to send the vehicle to get them. So I said, okay, we'll take this patient because whatever diesel we have, rather than you coming, you go to that place and look after these people. We took these people there and somehow we managed to put them there. But that place was probably worse than where they were because the school was a much cleaner place. But there is one room, there is a kerosene lamp hanging. There was so much mosquitoes. We put 2 doctors and nurses to look after them. But there is no other way to bring them because it was difficult. But also in jungles of Africa, if you are, the patients were lying on the ground and you have got all sorts of insects and everything, snakes and scorpions and whatnot. So you have to be very careful. So at least they were in a place which was meant to be treating, but they didn't have any medicine. We have to provide a lot of medicine. And they were not very happy with us. They said, you should not leave such people because we are not qualified to these things. We are just a couple of nurses here looking after the people who have got malaria. Otherwise, we cannot. We said, look, we will leave our doctors. Morning came and we did not know what to do. And with us, we had you got 5 more minutes? Just, or 2 minutes. We had an Italian doctor, he didn't know what to do. He was very upset that he didn't have much of the work. And that day we realized that his work was so important. There was an Italian company working in that area for the road works. And somebody told us these people have got big trackers. And if they can give us, we can transport this patient to the civil hospital in Freetown. We went there and I told this Italian man, the moment you go there, kneel down and say, "Dear sir, we are begging you to give some transport so we can transport this patient," because I knew by evening if this patient do not reach to the hospital and get some blood transfusion, they will die. With the prayer, we went there. And this man said, "Okay, we'll give you." I said, "No problem." We didn't realize suddenly. He said, "I've got a new truck which has not been used. We can give it to that one." And he said, "Thank you, Swami." And when he started telling, what work was going on and all this, he said, I know your work, because some of my members went there and they were talking very high. Ego suddenly comes. Truck is there. We got the permission and all those things. 5 minutes later, we were so happy. We forgot Lord's name. All this time we were chanting, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. The moment we got our things, we forgot. And suddenly this man comes back to us. He says, "Sorry, doctor, we cannot give you the truck because I don't have a driver." You got a truck, got a permission, but no driver. And says, "Swami, it is too early for us to stop chanting your name." We started saying Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram again. What to do? And this time our intensity of Sai Ram was twice, because now we have got everything where the driver will come, because we knew it is very difficult. Not everybody can drive those huge trucks. And suddenly we thought one truck is backing from the main road. And this man comes and he said, "The clutch is broken of this truck, so I cannot go to the site to collect the stones." They were making the roads and other things like that. I said, "Thank you, Swami." Why it is broken, we know. And now this driver is available, the truck is available, and we brought him. We converted that truck into the ambulance with the 2 doctors and everything. It reached Freetown. And when it reached there, everybody was very surprised. If there is a miracle in medicine, that is the miracle how these people survived. And with God's grace, none of them died, and everybody knew. And next morning, we got the message. The president of the country, who was flying to Mecca for his pilgrimage, wanted to come to the medical camp. We have been called to the president's places and prime minister places after the camp, so just, thank you and all those things and whatnot. But this was something different. The president is coming to the camp. So we were a bit uneasy for that one, because president comes, speeches will be there and will be delayed, because our camp in the afternoon was completely discontinued and we were running late. So Victor promised that don't worry, he will go very quickly. He's not a man of much great speeches and other things like that. He came there and he said, he gone to each and every department, and his words there, "Even my hospital do not have this sort of instrumented expertise what you have. I'm really grateful to your master who has brought this thing." And one of his chiefs said something beautifully, and I end my talk with that. The chief of the, they have got these tribes, said that rebels came and they did the killing. The Sai angels came and they did the healing. Sai Ram.